We have been discussing about the freedom of expression and freedom of speech that is being guaranteed in the article 19(1)(a). In this part, we will be discussing about the judgments that have been pronounced by the Supreme Court over the last 50-60 years that will be helpful to understand what kind of amplification of the concept has been done over the 60 years. One such interesting case is in 1950, where Ramesh Thapar versus State of India, Union of India was being filed in 1950, which challenged the Supreme Court, which challenged the government whether the freedom of expression includes the circulation of the content, because circulation was curtailed through some kind of initiative by the government, which was challenged by this particular case. In this case, in the Ramesh Thapar versus State of Madras 1950, Supreme Court, the judge made it clear that the right to free speech and expression includes the right not only to publish, but also to circulate information and opinion. Without the right to circulate, the right to speech and expression would have little meaning. The freedom of circulation has been held to be as essential as freedom of publication. And in the same way, there is another interesting case by Sakal Papers. The Sakal Papers versus Union of India is another interesting case. The Supreme Court held that the state could not make laws which directly affect the circulation of a newspaper, for that would amount to a violation of the freedom of the speech. If you make a law to curtail the circulation of one newspaper in any form, be it in the control of the pages or in circulation, whatever be the form, then that would amount to the control of the freedom of the speech. So, in the Sakal Papers, which has been considered as one of the milestone in promoting the freedom of expression in the country, this has been made very clear by the Supreme Court that government cannot thought about controlling the press through any form of law making. The government cannot make law to control the press. That was the very categorical pronouncement by the Supreme Court in making it very meaningful. The right under article 19(1)(a) extends not only to the matter which the citizen is entitled to circulate, but also the volume of circulation, number of pages. It is talking about the number of pages. So, the volume of circulation also, that cannot be controlled, that should be decided by the person who wanted to convey the message. So, the Sakal Papers case, Supreme Court categorically ruled that government cannot thought about producing or promulgating any kind of law controlling the freedom of the expression. Then comes judgment about Bennett Coleman Limited and versus the Union of India case. This is the popular Times of India has filed a case in the Supreme Court. This is also about the circulation of the newspapers, and it was also the court has given a very categorical argument and very categorical pronouncement that the government cannot interfere in the circulation of the newspapers. The court held that the newspaper should be left free to determine their pages and their circulation. Prior to 1980, there were laws that controlled the price page schedule, and the government wanted to control the number of pages that you want to publish by a newspaper. That has been struck down by the Supreme Court in the particular case called Bennett Coleman and versus Union of India. This case arose out of a constitutional challenge to the validity of the Newspaper Price Page Act 1956, which empowered the government to regulate the allocation of space for advertisement matter. How much space one should allocate for advertisement, how much space one should allocate for news space, that cannot be decided by the government. Only the publisher, the editor and the newspaper team can decide, and that cannot be decided by the outsiders. The court held that curtailment of advertisements would foul of article 19(1)(a), since it would have a direct impact on the circulation of newspapers. The court held that any restriction leading to a loss of advertising revenue would affect the circulation and then thereby impinging the freedom of the press. So, freedom of the press in any direct or indirect form of controlling, the form of controlling the ad space or controlling the volume of circulation or the price page schedule, these have been constantly being in the early 50s and 60s. Supreme Court had very categorically supported the freedom of the press. In the another interesting case is by Indian Express versus Union of India. The Indian Express versus Union of India case, a challenge to the imposition of customs duty on the import of newsprint was allowed, and impunged levy struck down. Supreme Court held that the expression freedom of the press, though not expressly used in Article 19, was comprehended within Article 19(1)(a) and meant freedom from interference from authority, which would have the effect of interference with the content and the circulation of newspaper. If you impose custom duty, that would amount to controlling the freedom of the press. That was the case of Indian Express versus the Union of India case. Another interesting case is the LIC versus Manobhai Shah. In this particular case, the Supreme Court held that the freedom of speech and expression must be broadly construed to include the freedom of circulate one's views by word of mouth or in writing or through audiovisual media. This includes the right to propagate one's views through the print or other media. The Honorable High Court observed that freedom to air one's view is the lifeline of any democratic institution, and any attempt to stifle or suffocate or gag this right would sound a death knell to democracy and would help usher in the autocracy or dictatorship. Very strongly worded judgment, which means that if you touch upon the breath or the lifeline of democracy called the freedom of the expression, that would lead to dictatorship or the autocracy. The court held that any attempt to deny the right to circulation and propagation of idea must be frowned upon unless it falls within the mischief of Article 2. We will be discussing a little later about Article 19(2), which restricts the which has its own rationale to control the freedom. And this the final case in this series is the R.R. Gopal versus the state of Tamil Nadu, which is a very interesting case, which is the one of the recent case that promoted the freedom of expression. In the Rajagopal versus Tamil Nadu case, the petitioner, who was a publisher of a Tamil weekly magazine, approached the Supreme Court to restrain the government from interfering with their right of publication of the autobiography of Otto Shankar. The Supreme Court held that government or their officials have no right to impose prior restraint upon the publication on the apprehension that they may be defamed. The court further held that the right to publish the story of a condemned prisoner insofar as it appears from the public records, even without his consent or authorization, has been held to be included in the freedom of the press guaranteed under Article 19(1)(a). The court reasoned that right to privacy is implicit in the right to life and liberty guaranteed under Article 21 of the Constitution. The prior restraint upon such publication cannot be imposed. The freedom of the press that the Indian media enjoys an extension or a further realization of the freedom of the speech and expression. So, we have seen a couple of cases in which the court has very categorically stated that whether it is advertisement, whether it is circulation of the copies, or to control the price page schedule, or in the final case where somebody is trying to stop the publication because that might damage somebody, that is not being permitted. So, through in one of the judgments that Justice Venkatramayya, who is a sitting judge of Supreme Court, in one of the case made it very clear that in today's free world, freedom of the press is the heart of social and political intercourse. The press has now assumed the role of the public educator, making formal and non-formal education possible in a large scale, particularly in the developing world, where television and other kinds of modern communication are not still available. The purpose of this press is to advance the public interest by publishing facts and opinion without a democratic electorate or the government. The government cannot make responsible judgments. The newspapers, by being purveyors of news and views having a bearing on public administration, very often carry materials which would not be pleasant to governments and other authorities. So, through these judgments, the courts have very categorically said that the press is not to please the government, or the press need not obey all the orders of the government, particularly with regard to the press. The government can neither produce a law, and this cannot be done through these kind of things. So, these judgments have enlarged the purview of the freedom of the press in the country through the Article 19(1)(a).